Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwartner, and welcome to Selling Power TV. I'm the publisher and founder of Selling Power Magazine, and we are also running the Sales 3.0 conference. And today we have the great pleasure of meeting with Mike Kunkel. He is the Vice President of Sales Enablement Services with Sparks IQ. Welcome, Mike.
Hey, Gerhard, glad to be here.
Over your right shoulder, there's an epic book called The Building Blocks of Sales Enablement. Congratulations to releasing your new book.
Thank you very much. One can only hope it will be epic.
Let's begin with the basics. How do you define sales enablement?
Sales enablement is a function or a department. It's a title, and it's a growing body of knowledge about how to support a sales force effectively as they go to market to serve their buyers and customers.
Which one of the three building blocks that I'm going to name is the most important one? Is it people, is it process, or is it technology?
If I had to pick one, I'm picking people. I don't think there's a magic bullet or a one focus, but when you start to combine these things and do what I call a systems thinking approach, when you start to get these systems in place, so you're bringing in the right people and you're developing your current people in the right way. When you get process and methodology in place that makes sense for the way to go to market based on how your buyers buy. If you get the technology in place to support those things, rather than do the bright, shiny object thing and just start buying software, right? When you start to put all of those things together, that's when you start to see that the whole of that is greater than the sum of its parts, because now you're putting replicable systems in place, you're creating repeatable performance, you're able to predict results more effectively. That to me is how you get the real magic.
And I think what is most challenging is creating that structure that's flexible enough to enable the growth that you want.
Right, because there is no one right way. There are better ways. And I see, unfortunately, too many of us flailing about, maybe with that random approach to sales enablement. They're doing a lot of activity. There's a lot of furor in action, but it's not necessarily aligned toward moving people to work more effectively with the buyers, giving them what they need.
So if you gave this book to a sales enablement manager who was just newly appointed, what chapter should they read first?
Well, definitely start with buyer acumen. Everyone goes through some sort of decision process. If you have an understanding of that generally, even if it's very simple, then you can say, okay, well, here are the personas and the decision makers that we typically work with. What's important specifically to each of those people, those personas? And then once you get past the personas with the salespeople, now you're talking to real people. It's Bill, the CFO. It's Sally, the chief marketing officer. And you can figure out what is their buying process exit criteria, or the things they each need to see, hear, feel, understand, and believe in any given stage of the process to feel comfortable moving forward to the next one with you. You can teach your sales force the messaging that matters and resonates with those buyers. You can help them understand value drivers and what each of them value. Whatever their role and persona is and whatever they care about, you can begin to message your solution, which may just be one solution, but differently compared to what matters to the buyer.
Part of the system is also the corporate culture, Mike. To what degree is the sales enablement manager sort of a custodian of the corporate culture?
Culture is simply the way we do things around here. And if you can influence behavior in the way people do things or what they're doing, the process they follow, you will actually over time change the culture. How do you reinforce and support people in behaving that way, which then creates that culture, which will attract other people who want to be in a company that acts and behaves and treats its people and customers that way? So I think sales enablers play a big part in that, because what we should be doing is shaping the behaviors of our sales force and also cross-functionally collaborating with the other leaders in the organization to support, again, the sales force, but as it goes to market to serve buyers and customers. If you can bring those forces together with cross-functional collaboration and a great charter, that is another place where I think you can really impact the culture and the effectiveness of the organization.
What kept you focused on shaping the way salespeople behave, think, and perform?
I'm a lucky person that I found two passions in life. My first was music. A lot of people don't know. I actually went to music school and I played professionally for a few years. And by accident, I answered an ad in the Morning Call newspaper in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and wound up taking inside sales inbound phone calls for somebody and got really fascinated by the world of sales. And then, I got good eventually, and I practiced, I drilled, I rehearsed, I did the music thing. I recorded myself constantly in audio. I was buying tapes and driving around and listening to cassette tapes in the car. And I was really drilling and practicing and rehearsing, trying to get as good as I could get. So this analytical bent really started to get me thinking about, why do some people that I hire and come into the sales organization I was running at the time, why do some of them do really well and others just can't follow the same instruction and bomb out? And it just developed into my next passion, was really figuring out, how do the gears turn and what can you do to help them turn as smoothly as possible and get the best possible results.
Mike, I want to thank you for spending time with us and talk about the building blocks for sales enablement. Anybody who is in sales should head over to Amazon.com, get Mike Cocktail's book. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you very much, Gerhard. I appreciate being here.